Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Atif bin Hassan, your teacher for today. How are you guys today? I hope every single one of you in the good shape and condition. If you haven't eaten anything yet, please do so. At least drink some water as it helps you to focus and think more clearly.
Okay, pop quiz. Huntington disease is a condition that stops part of the brain from working properly over time. It passes from a person's parent. It gets gradually worse over time and usually fatal after a period of up to 20 years. If a couple of infected Huntington disease, males and females, decide to have a baby, then the baby will inherit the disease as well. Feel free to pause the video and answer the question. Okay, if you're not sure about the answer and you might think, maybe yes and maybe no, because as a human, we cannot predict the future, right? It is true because as a human, we cannot predict the future, or in other words, miracles that happen in life. But however, in science, we are focusing on looking to explain how the natural world works. So in this case, the baby will inherit the disease because Huntington disease is an autosomal dominant disease. Autosomal dominant is one of many ways that a trait or disorder can be passed down through families. In an autosomal dominant disease, if you get the abnormal gene from only one parent, you can get the disease. Don't worry student, we're going to look at this further in the topic today. So here is the learning outcome for today's lesson. Firstly, at the end of the class, students should be able to state the importance of pedigree. Secondly, at the end of the class, students should be able to identify the symbol in pedigree. So we're going to start with the definition. Pedigree is a flowchart of a family generation that indicates the hereditary relationship and self-inheritance started from a previous ancestor to the current individuals. To make it simple to understand, pedigree is able to help us to determine our unique characteristic, but also others as well, like diseases and genes of ours. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, which is the importance of pedigree. There are two importances of pedigree in our life. Firstly, it allows geneticists to predict the inherited characteristic of individuals. Secondly, it also able to help in determining the characteristic of gene like a dominant or recessive gene. For example, let's take a few seconds to look at our eye color. What do you see? If your eye color is black like mine, or it could be blue, brown, or even green, it may be because both or one of your parents has the same eye color as yours, or maybe they had carried the genetics. That is why you also had the same eye color as your parents. So, why is it important for us to determine or predict our genetics? The reason we learn this topic is so we can know the history and the background of our family. For example, at the beginning of the class, we talked about Huntington disease, right? By knowing about the disease in our family background, we can try our best to avoid inheriting the disease from the next generation. So, here are the symbols of pedigree. Look at the picture provided. Square are for normal male, circle for normal female, colored square for affected male, colored circle for affected female, half colored for carried genetics, a horizontal line is for mating, the Roman number represents the number of generation, and lastly, the English number represents individuals. I hope you guys are clear about this. So to check your understanding, let's have some quizzes. First question, what is the importance of learning pedigree? Feel free to pause the video and answer the question. Okay student, if your answer is to allow geneticists to predict inherited characteristics of individuals and help in determining the characteristic of gene like dominant or recessive gene, you answered the question correctly. Well done student. Pedigree helps us in identifying inherited characteristics and also determining the characteristic of gene. Okay, next question. Question 2. In the second generation, how many people are carrier of the trait in the given picture? Again, feel free to pause the video and answer the question. Okay student, the answer is 3. There are 3 people who are carrier in the second generation, as there are 3 individuals which are 2 carrier male and 1 carrier female in the second generation, which is the 2 Romans. Good job student. If you are able to answer all the questions, this might indicate your understanding of today's topic. As a conclusion, we can conclude that it is important to learn our family background via pedigree, because we can avoid inheriting unwanted diseases in our family bloodline. So student, that is why it is important for us to have so many health checks like HIV and thalassemia tests before we are allowed to get married to avoid any troubles in the future. I think that's all for me. Thank you.